Okay, this is what this is I put up a video of 372 replacing the tank vent in my 372, and I had a comment about a guy. Well, first off, on YouTube there are no good videos of how to take the rear tank off of a 372. Same thing goes, it'll go for a 365, 372, 385, 390, 395. There's no good video of it, even smaller saws, and you guys can look up and find out what, what style tanks. I don't know. I think it's on the 272, it's on the 359 and 357. I think it's on 346 too. You guys can look it up. But this is just going to be, what this will be is this will be for the 365, 372, 385, 390, 395. It'll be for these that are the ones I'm for sure of, and 359, 357, 346, I'm not sure. But the video I did of replacing the tank vent, it wasn't, how to take the tank off. It was taking the tank off to get to the tank vent. And I didn't do a good job. I haven't had a good, I don't even have a tripod for my camera. It's just setting it on stuff, and it's on my Moto G phone, so it doesn't do a good job. But I had a comment on YouTube. There's no good video. There is no video of taking off a 372 tank, and the closest I could find is the 350 tank. And it's just, I've learned a lot of stuff from YouTube on how to do stuff to saws. And it's nice just when you can go and type in, 372 tank removal, or how to take off how to remove a 372 tank. It's just nice to be able to look it up and have it bang right there. So in this video, this is just going to be just taking the tank off the 372. It's not going to be anything. This is on my 365. It'll be taking it off, and then I'll try to put it back together. I don't know, it depends on how much time it's in, but this is going to be quick. The tools you're going to need for this is you're going to need at least a what's it called, Allen wrench. I have a T-handled one. It is, let's see, I think it's 5/32. No, it's not. Here it is. Yeah, it is. It's 5/32 Allen wrench, T-handled. I have one on my drill right here. A pair of needle nose pliers, and then for plugging the fuel line, which I'll show you later, you just want a nail, just a standard nail. Those are the three tools you're going to need. So to start off with, get your drill, or Allen wrench in this case, get it loose. We're going to take off the rear handle, or the handle. So take the one bolt off, get my tray here, put all my stuff in. You're just going to take off the handle. You're going to take off the 3 screws on this side, and then there's 2 underneath. You do not need to take the spring that mounts to the cylinder off the saw. That doesn't need to come off, so flip it over. This saw only had 2 screws on this right here side of the handle. There's 3, but I took one out for another saw because I don't use this one. But take these out, get a good magnetic tray, real nice for working on saws. Get them all the way out. Pull your handlebar. You gotta kind of play with it some usually to get the handlebar. What I find is the easiest is, so say we took this off, what I usually do first is I go take the chain brake off. There's a screw on the side here, just an Allen screw. Unscrew it. Really wash this screw. It likes to get lost. I wash them. That's where magnet trays come in nice. And then on the recoil, there will be a screw holding this end of the chain brake in, as you can see right here. But this rattled out, so it's not in there. When you pull this out, you'll see it just pulls off. There's a spacer in here, but the spacer's gone too. So set that aside, and now you can just pull the handlebar right off. Set that aside. So now we got it tore down just for the saw, and what we're going to do now is pull the clutch off, or the clutch cover off. Just loosen the bar nuts, put those in here, take off the clutch cover, Get that. Got it pulled down fairly basic. So now what you're going to do is there's 3 things to undo this. And before we do that, we are going to go up top, take off our top cover, pull the air filter. This is a 365. It's got a high top cover, but it's got the low top filter on it. I like it, gives it more air. Pull the air filter, take your needle nose pliers, reach in on the fuel line, and if this saw had fuel in it, what this nail is going to be used for is we're going to plug the fuel line with it. So golf tee works good. A drill bit, use the round side of a drill bit works good. You can cut the nail to where it's smaller, not so big, whatever. But just this saw has no fuel, but we'll put the nail in just so I don't get any crud in it. Put the nail in it, as you can see here. You just pull it right off, and then for this next part here, I'll bring you down close, and let's just have a good look. Reach in, pair of needle nose pliers. This is the throttle linkage. We got to unhook the throttle linkage. Grab the cable, pull out, lift up, and it comes off. And just pull it to the side. Just hanging over here. Everything's unhooked in the carburetor. That's all you need to have unhooked in the carburetor. Set you back up here. Hope my camera stays up. There you go. Okay, so now we're good up top here. Everything's done up here. Don't need to take any more covers off. Now, what we're going to do, it's all back outside. There are 3 mounts to the 3 series saws. There's a mount here on top that goes into the cylinder that hooks to the handlebars. There's a mount down the front of the saw, that's 1 screw. And then there is a mount inside right here. There's a screw right here you take out. So what we're going to do is we have 2 mounts left. We're going to go into this first one up front. Just take that, pull that out. Okay, that one's loose, save the screw. Go around to the other side, the front here, take this screw out. These screws can go into either one. They're both the same size, same length, everything. Now people think, okay, now I just pull the handle. Wrong. What there is right here. So you have your bar plate, your clutch and everything, and then you have, to get into the actual chain bank there, these 4 screws. There's 2 underneath the bar plate. You have to take it off. And there's 2 here. There's 1 screw right here, and you think that's for nothing. That screw will hold that handle, the rear tank, in place. So pop that screw out. Reach in here and push it back out. And this screw, I'll show you here. On this screw, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but so right now where I'm holding it, you can look, and so facing this way, that is all smooth. There are no threads. Facing back to it will be where my finger is. Those are threads. And what this does is, we'll set this over here with our handles. You can see that screw goes right through this hole right here. Let me get a flashlight so you guys can see it. My lighting sucks in here. So does my phone camera, so it doesn't like to work real well. So you can see right there where that light is, that is where that screw came out of. And what that screw does is, I'll pull the saw away here. You can see, actually, what we'll do is we'll just pull this off and then I'll show you. It's easier than me trying to hold it. So now we have everything out. Everything's taken out. What we want to do now, all the throttles hooked up, you can go and double check everything. The last thing is to go in, pull the kill switch. You can see, just get a screwdriver, pry the switch out. I've got a little file here that's a little bit smoother or smaller. If I can get it to come out. That one is in there. There you go. Okay, pull that out. Disconnect 2 wires. Take note of where the wires are. Set that to the side. All done, ready to pull apart. To pull it out, you'll start with the saw straight up in the air. You could even take the dogs off to make it set smoother, but pull it straight up in the air. Face the recoil to you, grab onto it, pull it this way a little bit, towards kind of out and back this way. It'll pop off. Okay? Now, turn it around and face it on top, grab the bottom, and push down and pull out. And you're going to have to put some strength behind it. Because it is harder to get out. There it came out. So I'll pull this. So now that it's off the saw, it's still connected. Your nail in the fuel line. Pull that out and pull the fuel line the rest of the way out of the saw. Stick your nail back in. If you have a smooth top nail, this has it's just a smooth head nail. It'll fit through there. Next off, your throttle cable. Just for this, there's a little sleeve down in here, and I'll show you in a second. I'll take it out real quick, and then I'll show you the sleeve that it sits in. So this is out. Pull handle comes out. Bring you up close here for a close-up. What we have, that little sleeve is right. There's going to be a booger here to hold. Let me get my file so I can point to it. That little sleeve that the throttle cable goes through is right there. And what that does is the throttle cable runs up right. Oh shoot, that was my... Oh no, never mind. The throttle cable runs up right there. So if you hold right there, you can see where the throttle cable runs up, that little rubber boot right there, and runs up. And when you put this back on, you have to run the cable through this little sleeve. It's just got a slit down it, and you'll run it up in there, run it back around the top, and hook it back in right here. Okay, so that's how that's done. Just make sure this is all intact, your throttle cable and everything. So now, what we have is, once you take all the bolts out, you'll see, if you flip this over, what these are is there is a pin right here. It has a rubber sleeve on it. Sleeve comes off. Keep the sleeve on there. What that sleeve does is, so we'll set this back up straight. So the tank goes in this way, like this. So that sleeve is on this side right here, on the recoil side. So look on the recoil side. You see this hole. That sleeve, or little stub, goes in right there, and that is what you have to break free to get the tank off. Now that screw, remember the screw we were talking about earlier? Right there, you can see where the threads are on it, see where it's not threaded. That screw threads into the saw's case right there. Just a little screw hole. What that does, so this will be on the other side, what that does is goes into this hole, and you'll be able to see it'll thread down in here. Okay, so thread down in there through the saw. It'll sit down in there, so that way it'll keep it from cross. So that way, if you break a mount or something like that, your tank won't just come right out. It will hit these two pins. It'll hit this one and then hit that screw and keep it from coming, all the way off, is what that's for. So that's how you take the tank off. Putting it back together, reverse the process. Really, the first thing to do is put your fuel line back up through. So you'll see right here, it's where your fuel line goes. Just pull the nail out, shove it back up through, put the nail back in. This is where the throttle cable goes. Put the throttle cable back up in, then put it through the sleeve and everything. Do that before you screw anything down. Next off, you could hold the saw on the side or whatever position is most comfortable. Slide it in on this pin here first, and you'll feel it when it pops back into place all the way. And then you can put your screw up here back in, and then make sure your trigger and everything works, and then after that, put your mounts back on, put the handlebar back on, put the chain brake back on, you're good to go. So that's how you tear apart a 365, 372, 385, 390, 395, 357, 359, 346 maybe if I'm not mistaken. I think 272. You guys can look up what the different models are. That's how you tear the tank off of that kind of saw. Putting it back on is easy. I will try it at some point, put up a video of how to put it back on. I'm not going to do it right now. My phone's about to die. So that's how you do it. You guys got any questions, leave a comment. I can help you out with it. If you guys need help, I can make a more in-depth video of putting it back together. I can really, you know, focus on one thing where you're having trouble with or whatever. Leave a, you need help, leave a comment, subscribe. I enjoy doing this and showing people how to do it and everything. So thanks everyone. I hope this kind of cleared up some of the comments I had about not being a good video and had a better angle, and hopefully y'all can hear me good and everything. So thanks everyone for watching, and like and subscribe and leave a comment if you need any help, and thanks for watching.